What's up? It's Tommy Touge, and we're back on the Liberty. I'm exhausted. Yeah, look, dad jokes are a specialty today. It's pretty hot. Anyway, back to it. So I ripped the exhaust off, which was pretty easy to be honest. There's a bolt that goes through this into another piece with a hook on it. You undo that. That disables the whole front end. There's one little rubber hook there, two at the back. You get it out. So I continued working on it. We're going to get the rear cradle out today, hopefully, with the diff and the axles and the hubs. Everything's coming out in one piece. So there's a couple of bolts here. The handbrake assembly. So there's a bolt here, the two lines come in. You undo that, obviously. So I did that off camera. I did some mundane stuff. There's a loop there which has a bracket on it. This bracket holds the two rear handbrake lines in. So when you pull on the handbrake, it engages the shoes. So got that off, got the lines out, ripped the lines out underneath. I've already undone the brakes. So on the driver's side, you get the ABS plug and all that jazz. So I've undone that. Obviously you can see that's hanging down. The tail shaft's undone, ready to go. You take the two covers off. There's a cover here and a cover there. There's a center cover for the tail shaft and the exhaust, like a heat shield. I've ripped all that out because we don't need that. Now I'm just going to undo there's three bolts here. I'm going to undo those three on both sides. I've got to get these front arms out. The arms can stay on for now, dismantle that later. I just need the shell gone. So there's another one, another bolt in here, another bolt at the back. There's two bolts in there that hold like a joiner piece. We're going to undo that. And it's the same on the other side. And then it's pretty much, I think, just going to be the suspension bolts holding it in. And then, yeah, we should have a rear diff cradle assembly out. Okay, so step one is going to be these three bolts. Hell yeah. Invest in a rabbit here, because I did not think that was going to be that easy. Yeah, so that's that side out. Okay, so those bolts are undone on both sides. Now we're going to start with this one. Alright, there's one nice long diff bolt out. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so that's one side out. I undid that center bracket off camera. I'm going to do the other side, and it should just be hanging on the suspension, which will drop from inside. But nice. Jack's underneath the center, ready to go. Let's move this. Alright, start with the front. Obviously this is recommended as a two-man job, but here we are. Jason Derulo riding solo. Alright, so I think, without putting myself underneath, that should be everything but the suspension, I believe. So we're going to go pop the suspension out the top, because we're going to keep it as a cradle. And yeah, that should be the diff out. So with that, what we're going to do is these 14 mils, just pop the bracket off in here, top two, bottom two, top two, bottom two, done. Alright, so clear that, 14 mil, that. Alright, the suspension drops, there must be some weight on it. Nice. It's a moment of truth. Hopefully it doesn't all go pear-shaped. Away. Alright, well that's all released. So, with any luck, as I drop this jack, the whole cradle should fall out. Hopefully. Okay, something's not moving on this side. So, just be careful because all the weight is on the cradle. In theory. Well, the suspension's free. The front of the cradle appears to be free. Might just look like it's caught. I'll make sure the suspension's free both sides. This side's definitely free. Nothing should be holding it up at the front. No, that looks completely free. Guess we'll jack it down and get it out. Alright, don't go too crazy in case something is caught. But I think it's free. I think it's just the way it's balanced, to be honest. It's a little bit caught on that bracket. That's about it, I guess. But we can undo that 19mm. So it's just caught on a bracket. Just be careful. It's probably two 17s. So there's two diff brackets apparently. It's a little hard to see that one because it's right up top. But yeah, once I undo this, I've got the diff cradle out. Ooh, that's going to be a little bit difficult. Might try crank it back up a little bit just to get a nicer angle on it, because I think the sway bar's a little bit twisted with it. So that's a bit better. Get that. And just be careful. See, I am underneath it. Perfect. Sweet. So that's the diff cradle out. Arms and all, which will save me some time because I can take the arms out anytime I like. Perfect. Okay, so we've jacked it up and try and wrench it out a bit. Ah, well, that's it. Diff cradle is out, boys. We have achieved. Diff cradle, arm, suspension out. Hell yeah. So that's all for this website. If you enjoyed it, like it. If I'm a dickhead or I could have done it easier, comment. If you want to see more of me stripping things, subscribe. And have a good afternoon.